That was a giggle in her. And also, you press the button to record, and sometimes I'm like, oh, she's pressed the button.
Yeah, no, do you want to pull the microphone towards you?
That would be useful, wouldn't it? I'll pull it towards me now. Is that better?
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to Know Your Matter. It's a podcast with two blondes and one brain cell.
No. Every single time you got to do that, no.
I've just realised at this time, I've read it, but this is the first time I've said it. If you can see on the video, the sign behind Mum's head says, do what you love. And what a gorgeous way to introduce today's podcast, because this will go out, I don't know when this is going to go out, not yet. Back on the 15th of March, we turned 4. Woo! Happy birthday
to us.
Happy birthday. We've officially survived 4 years running our own business. Fucking hell, isn't that wild?
It has been a wild ride, actually. I think there's been a lot of stuff we've learned, for sure.
A lot of mistakes.
A lot of great stuff, a lot of mistakes, a lot of learning. A lot of learning, exactly.
That was good. I like that we both went into that deep. A lot of learning as well. That was class. So in the little gap between when we were, because we record these obviously one after the other, and we were just chatting about kind of going in circles and stuff, weren't we? And it feels a little bit at the minute like we're coming back around again to where we were at the beginning.
Yeah, I think I guess the circle bit is, maybe unlocking's doing a little bit of this for the pair of us. It's kind of, really getting out of our heads what we're thinking, where we're at, what's happening, what matters, and that I think that it's a bit like we've been restoring the house, but you have to do maintenance on it.
Yeah.
You don't restore a house and then, oh, that's it, it's pretty and it's done. It's like it's not because life happens. Storms come at you, all that kind of thing happens. So you need, once you've got the basics and the foundations are solid, you need to be able to deal with the weather and, ensure that you keep up with it.
Everywhere you go.
Always
take the weather with you.
See, now, literally, I'm so literally in my head, all I can see is Encanto. And the sister who takes the clouds with her. And I can't remember what her name is now. Sarah, I'm so sorry, because I should be able to remember, shouldn't I? But yeah, I can see her.
Talk about Bruno, no.
Welcome to the world of my head. You what, sorry?
I love Encanto, what a film.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's a brilliant film.
Charlotte will watch it more.
Well, he will.
I'm going to force him this afternoon. I have to pick him up, because I've just had the dreaded nursery call that he's got a little bit of a temperature. So we're going to love him. Yeah, so they need 30 minutes to let the cowbell set in to see if it's just a thing, and then I'll go get him after this. So
yeah, literally,
kids, man,
perfectly timed though for us to do a podcast episode.
I know, dreamy.
And then for you to be able to do that.
And I don't know why I said I'm going into a meeting instead of I'm about to record a podcast. My brain just put that out. It just sounded more professional. But isn't that funny? That's what my brain did without me noticing. Well, obviously I did notice, because I've just said it out loud.
Anyway, let's go back to the beginning.
What were we talking
Let's start at the very beginning.
Yeah. Maybe we should share a little bit about how this started, actually. Because,
that was my thought.
Yeah. So, it's October 2021.
Oof. There is a small part of me that's like, no, maybe let's not go there. No, we will.
Lauren is pregnant and fucking struggling. She is vomiting 6 or 7 times every single day. The doctors won't give her any medication because they're arseholes. Anyway, I was pretty poorly, kind of struggling with pregnancy, and we had our wedding cancelled during COVID, and we had left over some money in the pot at the place we were having, because they kind of like took our deposit, but they left some money in the pot, and they were like, look, you can use it to stay in the cabins that they had that we were going to use at the wedding. So me and Dave went for a little baby moon. It was very early because I wasn't due to February, but we went and spent a weekend in a little cabin with a hot tub, and it was just lush to get away. And at the time I was working in a sales job. Interestingly, I didn't love the job. Like, cold calling is not my thing. I was really good at it, but I didn't enjoy it. But I loved the team I was working with. Like, the company was great, that kind of thing. But it was just absolutely not what I wanted. And at the time, you were doing your coaching accreditation.
Well, I'd literally just come out of what was a 23-year period of time, being part of one company that I thought I'd be with for the rest of my life, and things had not ended the way that I wanted to, and there's a lot of reasons why I made the decision to take the leap. And I had in the months prior to that, I always read Psychology's magazine. I've always been fascinated by psychology. I did it at 16 years old. I knew that's what I wanted to get into. I got put off when I saw a guy on telly when I was 18 who was a psychologist, and he just was... It was everything I wouldn't want to be. But that never left me. People, how we work. I know why. I do know why. From being a little girl, understanding behaviours, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it really has just... It fascinates me. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think some of it's about understanding myself, because of some of the challenges, and now obviously the diagnosis last year. But yeah, so there we are. It's October 2021. And I'd, through Psychology's magazine, seen what was this coaching accreditation, and I absolutely loved the sound of it. I just thought it was brilliant what I'd read. The lady Kim, who ran the organisation Barefoot, I loved what she said. She was featured in the magazine. And they'd been in the magazine a few times. It was like, they were collaborated, so the organisation. So I inquired. I did want to do it as part of my job, but that was refused. And I just thought, do you know what? I need something different. And I'd reached a point in my life, I think, where, you were struggling with the pregnancy, granddad had dementia. I felt like I wasn't seeing anybody in my life. There was just such a lot going on. And I'd been burnt out, I think, probably before COVID even started. So I think I've talked about this before, so I won't go into all of that. But I'd hit that point. So I was just like, something needs to change. And I'd made the decision, which was huge. And I wasn't very well at the time. And then I literally had gone into doing this coaching accreditation, which I've got to say was one of the best things that I did. I absolutely loved it. But yeah, so we both are in this October.
And we were chatting, and we're not like specifically, but we kept mentioning working together. Like chatting about working together, all that kind of thing. And I knew that you were going to go and start this coaching business.
Yeah, I thought about going and doing it. That's what I thought I'd do. Because in my head, I was like, what do I love? And I absolutely loved being in a training environment. So I love training. And though, it was that whole bit about how I realised, if you created a really great environment for people, what happened for them? Like, they began to see what was possible and what they could do and all of that. And I realised, probably from the counselling as well, that whole thing about listening to people, about understanding that, emotions were just messengers, all of that kind of thing. I had that knowledge, and it was like, right, where do I put that into? And what do I do with it? So yeah, that was where I thought, I think that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. And I had left over in my head how much I'd loved doing art during COVID, and from, getting better again and that kind of thing. And I sat, and I remember sitting, so I sat, there was a little round table. Dave was playing on it. I think maybe he took one of his, what they call consoles with us. And I think he was playing a game, or maybe he was watching the football or something. And I had been out in the hot tub, but obviously not supposed to be in a hot tub pregnant, so I could only sit on the top and put my feet in it anyway. And then I was sat at the table, and I've still got it, this little leopard print notebook. And it says inside it, like, it says something on the front that's pretty cute. And I just had this idea of this retreat, and it was like, it brought both of us together as separate entities, you as a coach, and then me specifically, because I'd been thinking about art and journaling and using art to move through specific emotions. And one that I was thinking about specifically was grief. And I think we'd been having a conversation about, is she called Donna Ashworth?
No, it's a different, Donna Lancaster. Yeah.
We'd been chatting about her retreats and that kind of thing. And I was like, gosh, imagine using art to move through. And I specifically was writing out about how I wanted to use it to move through one of my own traumas, like something about my dad when I was younger. Like I had that in my head that I wanted to move through. And then I was like, oh my gosh, imagine this was a weekend and people came and they did like things with us. So maybe they had like morning yoga and that kind of thing. But within it, they had group coaching sessions and they had this canvas. And they got this canvas on the first day. And over the course of the weekend, we do things to this canvas. So I've still got this plan. And in the process of it and through the coaching, they release this thing. And there's real science behind rituals, and they don't even need to matter. They don't even need to be a thing. But if we ritualize things as humans, we can let go of them quicker. So like there was a study done where they got like a load of people and they disappointed them all. And then what they did was they asked half of them to write it down on a bit of paper, pour salt on it, scrumple it up and throw it over their shoulder. Didn't mean anything. It wasn't attached to a religion or anything. It was just a ritual. And the other people did nothing. And then they compared how they felt at the end. And the people who'd done the ritual had moved on. Like 80% of them were like, had forgotten it completely. Like 90% of them felt better about it. It was, you know what I mean? And the other people were still stuck in this place. And it's kind of like based on that. Anyway, obviously then eventually, like we kept talking. We got together in Nottingham in the Cafe Nero upstairs and we kind of planned this out. And then I gave birth and that was hell. And after that, I realised that, you know, I kind of wanted to see how this went and not go back to sit behind a desk with a baby. Like, and I've got nothing against people putting kids in daycare dead young, but I just wasn't ready myself. And in order to go back to work, like I couldn't have had him at home and done the work. So like the conversation I was having with my boss was like how to pay for childcare and things like that. And that just was not where I wanted to go. Anyway, so this was born.
It was born in a time of quite turbulence.
Yeah, shit. We were going through a lot.
There was a lot. There was a lot. Things that I'm not going to share everything, but yeah, there was a lot of stuff happening as a family.
Enough.
Yeah.
But there was huge amounts. My little sister was pregnant. Granddad.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff happening that we were dealing with. And I think that it's really interesting because fascinatingly, we've both been thinking about the beginning. And whether that is because it's the 4 years, whether that is because, you know, we've weathered some storms, whether that is because actually unlocking is allowing you to see what you truly love. And me, what is it that I truly love doing? Yeah. And I think that's where, because I wrote about the retreat this morning.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I wrote that we need to, I think we need to come back to thinking about what was the reason why we did this in the first place. And I find it really interesting to kind of watched as you've come back to art, because that was, listen to what you've just said, that was the bit. I'm quite excited that you still got the booklet because I think you should get it out. And I know that we've had odd conversations about doing a retreat, but almost like we didn't believe in ourselves enough that we could do it. And yet I'm like, hang on a second, we got ourselves here. It's like, you know, and it's far from perfect at times. There are things that definitely we know we need to work on. And I think, you know, that's what we were talking about in the middle. And things we need to look at. But I think what's fascinating for me is I feel like those 4 years, I knew, this is interesting from my perspective. I knew when I left, so in the October of 21, I knew the impact on my body and what was going on for me. And I also knew that I needed to get to a point where I was beginning to feel more like myself again. And then 2022 happened. And my planned, it'll take me a year to start to feel better. And, you know, like I'm back being me again, did not happen. In fact, not only did it not happen, but I think it sent me even further into, you know, a really difficult place. And we were keeping going. We were keeping going. And I think
the fact that we've survived this long through what we've lived is wild.
Yeah, it is. And I know we're being a bit kind of like cloak and dagger, not sharing everything, but you don't need to know.
It's not
it's just there's a lot of stuff that kind of went on that we were dealing with. And I think that whole bit of what we were doing, you know, and we needed to just keep going. And I think in that you don't allow this rest. And what I mean by that is not sleep or any of that, but actually just this understanding of what the toll that had taken on us physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually. Like just the massive toll. And I think it's really interesting. I don't know why I feel it. I feel this sense of like, oh, we can come back to what we actually said we were going to do in the first place. I feel like it's that, like we've done everything that we needed to keep on going. And now it's like, right.
You know Lord of the Rings? Obviously you know Lord of the Rings.
Yes, I do.
They go through, what are the woods called? Can't remember.
Don't ask me those questions.
So they go to the woods. Gandalf buggers off. But I feel like we were on this side of the woods and we were like, we're so excited. These are all the things we want to do. And then we got into the woods.
It's bloody scary.
And it's been dark. It's been difficult. We kept going though. We haven't gone back. We haven't just given up. We haven't done any of that. We've gone back. This feels like we're getting to the other end of the woods. And we're coming out into the field and we're going, oh, thank fuck for that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's how I feel. A bit like, oh, right, okay. And it's interesting because we were chatting about, a little while ago, these things that we've both been convincing ourselves of our like capabilities. And I haven't done a coaching accreditation. I've got halfway through a free one, but the man that was doing it, just I couldn't deal with him talking about himself anymore, so I didn't finish it. Anyway, so I've done a lot of work, but I have not wanted to call myself a coach this whole time because I just felt like a charlatan. I felt like, like a traveling salesman who would just sell whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like I felt like that, and I think, you know, and then I wasn't an artist. I'm not very good at art. What? As though there's any such thing anyway. But also, look at what I can create. Like,
when you were just talking to me, can I just say something about that? Because it's really interesting, isn't it? That it's almost like in our heads we had one route that would get us to where we wanted to be. Yeah. And actually, you know, there's more than one way to achieve things. And that I shared with you in between, didn't I? So one of the things in unlocking that I think's been really kind of like, it's so liberating. What are the things that you love? And like, you know, as a kid, what did you want to be? All that kind of thing. So even just kind of thinking of those answers and that kind of exploring, like we're kind of going inside and like going, oh, right, hang on a second. What is it about me? Like I love clothes. I would love to make clothes. I've said that for ages. I've got a circle skirt on today. I would love to make circle skirts. And there's a part of me goes, it's a simple pattern. Why could you not do that? I used to make you dungarees when you were a kid. I've always knitted. I've always done these kind of things. And like, I remember the time I shared that I knitted and somebody looked at me really funny. It was like, knitted. And it was like, but at that point, it's what your grandma did. Well, I mean, you know, let's not go into the fact of
it's the Pat Butcher thing all again.
There it is. So for me, it was like, oh, keep away from knitting. Now it's trendy. Yeah, I mean, thanks Tom Daly. What Cheers, a blooming superstar you are. But also all the women that are following, the fact that I love like Norway, Denmark, Sweden, all those kind of countries. Just I absolutely love. And that's exactly what they're doing. They've got these beautiful bags, you know, all that, and it's such a thing. But I've always loved it. But it's like, when I think about kind of what it's doing for us and this whole, we've had space now to recover. Yeah. I think from things that have been going on and stuff has been, whilst there's still been storms happening and there is things happening, I do think we've had more space to allow. And I think that's what the business gave us for both of us, was it gave us the space to recover. And that now
it's been a privilege, really.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's that whole thing. And I've lost my train of thought. I'm going to do that right on air because that's who I am. And I can't remember where I started with this now.
You wanted to do the fashion.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you were listening. Apologies. I had said about, like, obviously last night, I would love to be a fashion designer. I'd love that thought of being able to design what I wear. Like, and it actually fit me. Because, like, my shirt today I love, but I'm like, should have bought a smaller size because now I would have liked it to be a bit more fitted and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know, it drives me insane. Imagine if you could
just literally lay it down, copy the squares and sew it together.
And what do I want to do? And I watch it, I'm seeing it, but I'm not doing it yet. And that's the bit that I need to do. And we've got a sewing machine. Yeah. We've got a sewing machine. I know we have. You know, and I'm knitting hoods. I'm doing things. So I'm moving. But I love mobile phones for the fact that they just listen to you. I'd gone on last night to check something after we'd finished the course. Oh, pops this reel, and it's this young woman who has got no formal training in fashion design and was literally debuting this spring in Paris. Now, I didn't see what the journey was for her to get there, but it just showed me, and I think this is why I wanted to say it. It's because she had no formal training. It's like, right, years ago, like a lot of people didn't go to universities, but that meant the people that went into jobs at 16-year-olds learn on the job. So it's like, what I'm saying is, we've got experience. Yeah, we've got things like, we've got, I know the areas I won't go into because I'm, I know I need to be physically trained to do that. But I also know my experience. Isn't talking about pretending
being a trauma informed.
No, none of that. But I tell you what, I am trauma informed on, Lauren. Trauma informed on myself.
Yeah.
And I think this is often where we've become it's all about like, absolutely, people need to be safe. That's what that's about. But having that integrity where I know where the line draws for me.
Yeah.
And this is where you're saying it's like not feeling okay to call yourself a coach. It's like, how many times do we have to go through formal education or all of these things? Whereas actually a lot of that I've learned myself. I've learned through experience. You've learned through experience. We're learning together. I keep hitting that microphone. Sorry, microphone. But we're learning together. And I think this is just what we need to do is be able to step back and go, right, what are these actual stoppers for us that mean we're not doing these things?
Yeah.
We're always gaining knowledge.
Yeah.
We're always thinking about how we want to be able to use it. It's just doing it. And I think we'd throw an amazing retreat.
Yeah, gosh.
I think it'd be brilliant, and the universe is giving me, because I'm a massive believer in this. Like the universe is my friend. It's my friend. It's like, the opportunities, the things I've seen this last month. Bearing in mind, that I've possibly had to be the most frugal with money that I've ever been, because that is the reality of running your own business.
Yeah.
There's some great months, there's some months that are quieter, and I think that's a real big thing for me to say out loud, because I'm not ashamed of that. It's like, actually, we are a business, and we've got to find clients and do all of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's normal, and it's teaching me a lot about myself and about I have never felt so blessed in all my life as what's happened in the last few weeks around things, and I'm like, wow. It's like there are opportunities there. I know people that have retreat places that we could go and have conversations. It's like, really, what is stopping us? What is actually getting in the way of going and having these conversations and finding out what is possible with what we can do right now?
Yeah.
It's a bit like the house thing for us. I'm like, we need to kind of like open ourselves up and go, all right now, where are we at and what could we do? Because until we know the answer, until we know what's possible, until we know what it's going to take, we kind of can't put some things in place. Does that kind of sit with you? It's like, right, we need to start moving. I love that. Action conquers fear.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we going to do about this? Because we can. And we're more than capable. You're more than capable of doing what you've just said. You bring so much experience. And I love that you suddenly have this moment. I think you had it in the last podcast where you were like, oh my God, actually, I'm a damn sight more capable, aren't I? Than I even think that I am. And I'm like, oh, mic drop.
It's like talking about Milan last night on Unlocking and just remembering some of the things that I've done that I forget that I've done.
Yeah, because tell people about Milan. What was Milan?
So when I was in my young 20s, I, with a group of people from church, we went to an airport with no money, no phones, nothing. We got handed an envelope which had a ticket in it to somewhere. We were getting on that flight with what's in our bags, that's it. We had to get there, survive 2 days and get home. That's what we had to do. With no money, we had to just trust. We had to just have faith. And that was just what we had to do. And we did it. And it was amazing. And we ended up, meeting somebody and then like finding someone whose mum lived there and someone who knew someone from home whose mum actually lived just like near Milan. And we ended up going and staying with her and she fed us and We learned about like Italian food, and we ended up cycling around Monza, and I've got photos of it. We had these orange hats on, and it was amazing, and it was terrifying, but like it was just this faith that we'd do it and we'd be fine.
Last night, faith over fear.
Yeah.
Faith over fear. It's like, and we're not talking about, you don't need to think that this has to be a god or anything like that. Yeah. It's what you believe in.
Could be yourself.
It's that, isn't it? It's what's this part that you believe in that is like just really, and I think it's this like divine within you, you know, but that it's almost that kind of voice, that quiet voice within that guides you.
I had a bit of a epiphany. I love an epiphany. I say the word epiphany so much more than anyone else, I reckon. Yesterday, this morning, I don't fucking know. Don't know when it was. Thinking about the work that I do and working with business owners, and you know, wanting to work with people, and obviously my work is circus themed. I love it. Like I love the circus stuff, and I've, you know, the inner circus cards that I created were inspired by the positive intelligence saboteurs, and they're just a way to kind of understand that. And I've kind of been developing this way of thinking around things, and I finally found the whole sort of image today that I can now like share. So, and it'll come back to what you were saying, I promise. So if your business is a show, right? Our business is a show, and all of it is the show, right? Our performers go on stage and the performers are the saboteurs and they all get on stage and they all take turns doing the things that they're doing, and like they try and lead the show. So, you know, they maybe the you know, hypervigilant says, no, we need to do it this way and it's safe this way and all that kind of stuff, whatever. And I knew that the director, so not the person on the stage, but the director of the show is the sage. So the person who listens to the saboteurs and goes, yeah, no, I like the way you kind of said we should do the show that way, but we're not going to do it that way because we need to do it this way. And one of the things I've been really leaning into at the minute is desire, and how, you know, delight and whimsy and love and all that kind of thing are things that I don't think we listen to them very much. And I think that actually they're part of us that's really fucking important. And I was thinking about who is desire. And desire, I think people think almost like in a sexual nature, like desiring something. But do you know who it is? Desire's a kid in the audience. And they're leant forward and nothing around them could take their attention away. And the light from the stage is hitting their face and they're in awe. It's magical. They don't know if it's perfect. They don't know if you've got it wrong. They don't care about any of that shit. They are just enthralled by you. That's desire. What are you gonna do for that kid to be like, wow, that, right? And then I was thinking about the judges, because obviously and I think there's more than one, because I think the rent man's a judge. The rent man who comes along and goes, have you earned enough? Have you done enough ticket sales? Have you done enough of this? Have you done enough of that? That's the rent man. You've got the critic, the newspaper critic, who writes about you and goes, it's not a real circus. It's not this. It's not a real show. It's not good enough. And then there's a third one that came to my head that I was really interested in. And this is a man who sits outside and he never comes in. He's never seen the show. He sits outside and he gets drunk. By the end of the night, he's swaying a bit. And as you leave, as the audience leaves, as the director comes out, he goes, that's shit. This should be shut down. This is stupid. What are you doing? And the director's job, our job as business owners, is to listen to all of the voices and know which ones we're supposed to listen to. Because we do have to listen to the rent man. We have to pay our rent.
Yeah.
We do have to listen, you know, to the saboteurs who are telling us, oh no, that's not safe. We have to listen to them. But logistically, we have to perform it for the kid in the audience. And when we ignore that kid in the audience, that's when we start building a show that doesn't feel very good anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're not listening to the saboteurs to act on it.
No.
You're listening just to get an understanding. of what it is that's stopping you, or what it is that's maybe not creating this desire in this child, to then go, oh, actually, this is what I want to do instead.
Because it might be that they go, oh, we should do a new offer. We need a new this, we need a new that. And you go, oh, that's a really good idea. We're actually still working on this one. I actually still love this one. It's still lighting up the child that's in the audience. So I'm going to stay here and I'm going to keep that in mind for next week when this is finished. Thank you.
There's the perfectionism. Come back to what we were talking about last time. There's isn't it? It's like the fear that it's not going to be enough to actually make something new.
Yeah.
What if it fails? What if it's a mistake? What if actually I don't like it? And then the continual. I've seen myself get stuck in that.
No, we can't go on. We can't do the show yet because it's not perfect. We haven't practiced enough.
That's the.
Well, then the kid's just going to be sat in the dark.
Hands up if that's ever been you. For those of people who are listening, both of us put our hands up. We have been that person. I'm like that with the House of You.
Doesn't it feel good?
Yeah, I love the House of You. I think it's bloody brilliant. I'm excited. I've already used it like as restoration, and now I've just renamed it because it feels more relevant, and I can feel myself messing about with it rather than just talking about what it is.
Apart.
Yeah,
it's not ready yet.
It's not ready yet.
It's not that.
But actually, it is ready.
Kid in the audience.
Yeah, it is ready.
They just need you to get on stage and with your house and show them it.
Yeah, because I one of the things that until I've got the perfect result, there it is. You know, whereas actually the results the clients get that come through the stuff that I'm doing it's amazing. The difference that I spoke to somebody yesterday who was like, I tell you what, my boundaries are the best they've ever been in my entire life. Like and is still using, because together we created a vision board. That's what they wanted to do, so that's what we did. Worked our way through it. I used the latest science to be able to create that. They're like, that, can you see it's still there? And actually I'm on with it. This is the stuff that's changing. They've changed their hours at work. They've made sure that they're now, you know, they've got really clear boundaries for themselves. They care what they want. They know what matters to them. And I'm like, why am I hiding that? Why am I not celebrating? Yeah. And it's because there's a part of me, I can see it still, and this is what unlocking is showing me. There's a part of me that is really strict with me that tells me until it's perfect, don't do it.
Gosh.
And I'm like, stop. No, I'm not going to, I can't, I'm going to listen. Thank you.
Yeah.
I get it.
Thank you for trying to protect me.
And no. You know, I think we need to go for the retreat. I think we need, that's our next step, is to start talking about what we're going to plan. Okay. And what it would look like.
The retreat, and starting art journaling again.
Cool.
I want to do it. I want to meet people once a week where we do art journaling to work through these things. Oh my gosh. I mean, I loved it the first time, and people loved it the first time I did it. That was years ago now. Right back when we started. But now imagine with all of the stuff I know.
Yeah.
And how to ground and
can I also say, I want to learn how you do the pictures that you do. I think that there's a real thing in you paint, and like you've done all those backgrounds, right? But I'm watching you now going, I'd like to know how to do that. But I think there's a real thing, Lauren, in you being able to do that. And I don't think I'd be the only person who would want to come and sit with you while you show them and demonstrate, and let me have a go alongside you, you know, or even online. Like, let me see, how do you paint those beautiful, you call them mushrooms, I was like, they're toadstools. They've got red on the top. I love it. They're just beautiful. And I'm like, but I want to be able to do that. I watched you paint a frog, and I'm watching you do this stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to be able to do a bit of that, but I wouldn't know where to start. It's like, there are so many things that I think is possible with that. Yeah. And I'm fascinated how you've needed to go on this journey of doing what you think you should do to get back to actually what you really loved in the first place. And also having evolved that, because now it's like, here's me.
Yeah, it's like I needed the stuff in the middle. I needed to go on the journey of...
Yeah.
I need to be a strategist. And I admitted to Mum today for the first time ever. And I've never said that out loud to anybody else, that I didn't want to do physics.
She did, and I was like, what?
She looked at me like... I remember being 16 and going to Prior to sign up for my A-levels. And I chose my A-levels because Faye Benson chose them. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
For those in the audience with only audio, Jacqueline has just dropped her face.
I need Morgan Freeman in a rain. But I did, because she was like, well, she wanted to be an architect. And I was like, oh, well, that sounds kind of cool. So what are you going to do? So she was doing fine art, physics and maths. And I was like, right, okay, well, I'm going to do those. And I was like, and I also want to do drama. And I also want to do Italian. So I did all 5. And I loved them. There you go. So that's how I chose. Didn't know what I was going to do. Just had no idea. Just wanted to be successful and cool and important. Anyway, so I'm not going to say it was useless. But
none of it was useless.
But
none of it was useless.
How interesting that when you were like, well, what did you actually want to do? Because I was like, I didn't even want to go and do any of the things at university. And I was like, paint. I wanted to travel and I wanted to paint.
I wanted
to be in Italy and I wanted to paint. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh, there's a part of me, you know, when you just really get down to the core of it, when you know what you want to do. Because actually, we both said travel at the same time. Travel.
Travel, learn and paint. That's mine. Yours should be travel, learn and write. And actually, we should talk about that in a second when we're finished. Not yet. You guys don't get to hear because it's a secret. It's not just we've already been on for 35 minutes.
Well, I am practicing writing. The emails are mine.
Oh,
it's my words. It's my thinking. It's my voice fully. And it has been, but it's never really felt like it was me. And it's still evolving. Because because it hasn't felt safe to write fully what I think, but I want to write without my eye on anybody else. I just want to write. I just want to write. I want to do the things that I love doing.
Do what you love.
Do what I love. It is that. Anyway, I feel like that's a natural place to finish again.
We keep doing that, don't we?
We do.
I keep not having to look at my watch and be like, "Come on, Jackie."
Like it's only me that talks.
I know.
Anyway,
I like blaming you because then it's easier.
It is, isn't it? It's easy. I'll take it. 4 years. 4 years, Lauren.
So by the time, congratulations.
And you, congratulations. By the time people listen to this, we'll be 4-year-old.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, we are. We need a photograph, and we haven't got a cake. I forgot a cake. I was thinking
but it's
about
not today though.
I know.
So we'll do a little photo shoot, a little wee photo shoot. Oh my god, that means it's been a year since the last one. That's crazy. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Yeah. Please do follow and subscribe and send this to a mate.
Yeah.
Dare you.
Yeah, dare
Double doggy dare you.
Double dare.
Love you, bye.
Thank you.